So before I bought the Aquatru Carafe, I didn't think reverse osmosis was that big of a deal. I really didn't. I thought clean water was just clean water. But after using this for a while, there are a few things I wish I had known at the beginning that would have made this a lot easier to know that I needed to buy this. And I wanted to share these things with you in this video. And to be really honest with you, it made the decision a lot easier. I'm going to walk you through the main ones in this video. And if at any point you want to check the pricing or see what the Aquatru Carafe comes with, I left the link right down below in the description so you can go check that out. But if you're still here, let's get into it. So let's start with the very first thing. This is where it blew my mind. And that's the difference between reverse osmosis and a regular filter. Because this one confused me at first. When I first started looking into this, I was like, isn't this just like one of those filters and pictures that I see in the grocery stores? It is not. Reverse osmosis removes a lot more than standard filters. We're talking about things like heavy metals. I didn't even know that was in water. PFAs, fluoride, stuff that most basic filters don't even touch. They don't even think about it. And quite honestly, most consumers aren't thinking about it also, but Aquatru is. And I didn't fully understand that going in, to be very honest. I just thought I was upgrading my water. Actually, it's a different level of filtration. And like the easiest, most practical way I can explain it is like this. You don't really notice it right away, but after a couple of days of drinking reverse osmosis water and regular tap water or regular filtered water, it's subtle, but it is a very big thing. The second thing I wish I knew was the filter lifespan. And you're probably thinking you're going to be replacing them all the time. And that's exactly what I thought. But when you actually break it down, it's pretty simple. The pre-filter is about 6 months. The carbon filter here is about 12 months. And that aura membrane, we're talking 12 months or more. So it's not something you're dealing with every single month. And when you start looking at the cost per gallon of water, you start realizing like you're saving way more money than buying water bottles. And trust me, we have done the math in our house. And for me, that was the kind of shift. I didn't realize how much money we were spending on bottled water and just bottles of water in general until we didn't have to keep spending it. And if you're curious about the exact pricing on bundles that they have, I left a link right down below in the description so you can check those out. That way you can look at the numbers and do the math yourself. And the third thing, and this is a big one that people talk about, is the wastewater. I saw this come up a lot before I bought it. And yes, reverse osmosis does produce some wastewater. And here's what I found. The Aquatru is a lot more efficient than many older systems, and the ratio is a lot better than I expected. And also, this water, the wastewater, is not unusable. You can use it for your plants, cleaning, and things like that. And that's what we do in our house most of the time. So instead of thinking of it as waste, think of it as redirected water. Is it perfect? No. But it wasn't the deal breaker that I thought it was going to be. The fourth thing I'm going to mention as I get set up is the size, because that almost stopped me from buying it. I thought this glass carafe would be too small. I pictured myself constantly refilling this and getting completely annoyed with it. We don't want another thing to manage, right? But in reality, it became part of my routine. We fill this once, maybe twice a day, and that's it. And for most of my families, it's really easy to manage. And it's saving you money too. And for bigger families, yeah, you're going to use more. That's just part of it. But here's the upside. It's compact. It's glass, and this glass carafe fits right in the fridge, which I didn't think I'd care about, but I actually do a lot. Some people even get a second carafe so they can have cold water ready. I actually got one in the refrigerator right now. When you put it all together, here's how I look at it. The filtration is way better than expected, as well as the filter life lasts a heck of a lot longer. The maintenance is simpler than I thought, and the day-to-day is pretty easy. It's not a complicated system. It's actually pretty straightforward, and that's probably what I appreciated the most. So is it worth it? For my family, it's an absolute yes. But you have to look at what you're comparing it to. If you're comparing it to tap water, you're going to say, wow, this is leaps and bounds different, and you're going to be really happy with this. If you're buying bottled water or using your low-level filters, it's going to even make even more sense because it's going to save you so much money on top of having great tasting water. But for my family, this was such a big game changer for our health and our finances. We just didn't realize it at the time. If you want to take a look at the current pricing and see what bundles they have, because Aquatru's always having different bundles to make sure they can pass those savings on to us, check that link in the description right down below where you can learn some more about Aquatru Carafe and other products that they have. But that has been my experience with it. Nothing crazy, just what it's like to use this every single day for the last several months. If you've tried one of these, I am so curious about your experience. Let me know in the comments. Has it been good or bad for you? If you have any questions, ask me. I'm not just talking about this thing because I think it's cool. I'm talking about this thing because it's life-changing for us. And I want to make sure other people know about it as well. If you found this video helpful, give me a like. Don't be afraid. Drop a comment. Say hey. It gives me a better idea of what type of videos that you want to see and how it can be more helpful to you all. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. YouTube thinks you're going to love this video next.